Every one of you do not have an ordinary life. You do not have a day-to-day life where you're going through and nothing exciting, nothing bad, no attacks. It's always beyond the ordinary, but we don't see it that way. So today, I would like to take you on a small journey, even as we learn and equip ourselves to go beyond the ordinary. And what God says we are is that we are anointed, that we are blessed, and we are called to go beyond the ordinary. Here's the thing. How many of you know the phrase, you are fearfully and wonderfully made? Let me see your hands. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Now, I use that phrase so many times. But here's the thing. In the back of my mind, I never did the research to ask God, what does fearfully made means? Was God scared when he made me? Was he scared? Was he fearful? Was he frightened when he made me? That's not the case. So, I researched it, and it says that fearfully means that you were made with care, intention, and not to be useless or unworthy. That means that every single person in this room, every single person that is looking at me and that is hearing me right now, God intended to make you. God intended, he said, when I'm making Kalen, I'm making him in this way. When I'm making Ali, I'm making Ali this way. I'm making Adriano, I'm making it this way. You were made with purpose. You were made to carry out your full destiny. Now, I don't know what limitations you put on yourself. I don't know what limitations the devil has gone into your mind and told you that you cannot do this. But I'm here to tell you today, it's only getting started. Wonderfully means that you were made unique with beauty and crafted by God himself. Let me just tell you one thing here today. If I'm not preaching anything, if I'm not saying anything, I'm giving you hope here today. Heaven celebrated when you were born. Heaven had a celebration when you were born because that's your worth. The whole of heaven, no one has ever seen it. We only feel God's presence. But imagine a place that you don't know of. Imagine a place that nobody here has celebrated when you were born. Why would the enemy attack you in an extraordinary way if you're an ordinary person? Don't you think he'll attack you with ordinary things? Don't you think that he will attack you with things that he can attack a simple man? But for you, it's always harder. And I'm speaking to real people here because I can see it in your faces that you go through real things. I can see it in your faces that you go through silent battles, that you go through battles that nobody even knows of. But guess what? God knows it, and I'm here today to remind you that whatever it is, however big, we serve a bigger God. So, just to give you a small illustration, right? Blind, you are standing here in the way, and you got Caleb, right? You are a big David, that's what you are. Okay, this is you. This is you in your current sense. This is you in this very moment in time. This is your obstacle. It makes me look short, man. This is your obstacle. This is the person that is in your life, and this is the thing that's been stopping you for the longest time. The wall that you keep, just look like a wall, right? Good job. Just look like a wall. The wall that you keep hitting. The wall that you keep hitting, the place that you always stops. This is your ceiling, this is your border. And this, what's your name?
Abigail.
This Abigail is representing Caleb. I don't know what's the situation here, but you leave Abigail alone. Abigail is going to be representing the blessing, the breakthrough, and she's going to be representing what God has destined. So, this is you in your everyday life. You are coming and you are walking, and you keep bumping into something that limits you. You keep bumping into something that limits you. And every time you feel that you are close, this Goliath is stopping you. Every time you feel where you can almost reach your destiny, where you can almost reach it, Goliath is keep pushing you back. He's keep pushing you back. He's keep pushing you back. And oftentimes, you come so far away and you get broken so far away. You go so far away that you feel your destiny is impossible to reach. who God has called you to be is impossible to reach. So what do? You settle for something that's here and now. You settle for something that's easy, that's reachable. Okay, there we go. You settle for something that's here, right? God didn't call you to get lollipops. God called you to get a blessing, a breakthrough, your destiny.
Amen.
To break curses. He didn't call you for this, but because you are so far away from it, and because your prayer life gets broken, because your family sometimes limits you, your friend limits you, you settle for this. Right? Since you like lollipops. Your friends sometimes limit you, right? So what happens? You have this encounter. You come to a meeting like today, and then you start building yourself up again. You start walking in the presence of the Lord. You start building yourself up. You start remembering who you are. You start acknowledging God's presence. You start knowing exactly who you are, right? And I want you to have a serious look on your face. You're not playing games, right? This Goliath is getting tempted, right? And then you understand that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And because I thought that God was scared when He made me, this is the thing. Goliath is scared that God made you.
Wow.
Goliath is scared that God made you because Goliath knows. Goliath is playing mind games with you. Goliath is representing the things that come in your mind that limits you, the things that comes in your mind and stops you. But guess what? This time, Caleb, you came knowing that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You came knowing that you are born to be out of the ordinary. So this time, Goliath, you need to take a step aside, and Caleb, you need to go and you need to take your blessing, you need to take your destiny, you need to take your full purpose, and you need to walk with God. Thank God. And eventually, what happens is that you reach your destiny. Eventually, you reach your calling. Eventually, you reach your plan, purpose. Thank you so much, Abigail, Caleb, and Goliath. Understand that when you are rising, not everyone want to see you come up. How many of you are here today, right? And I want you to be real. I just want you to pick your hand up. When you know that there is something inside of you, where you are right now, doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what you are, you know that this is not where you want to be. I'm not talking about job, I'm not talking about anything, I'm talking about faith today. Because faith is something that starts in your mind. Faith is something that is built and that is burning inside of you. How many of your flame oftentimes goes low? I'll pick my hand up. Anyone else's flame goes low? Thank you so much for being real. Your flame goes low because you got oppositions coming against you. I know there's young people because of ops coming against you. But here's the thing. When a rocket is launching, not every component, every part, everything that is attached to the rocket will make it to the rocket in space. How many of you know that? Just like that, not everyone in your life, not everyone who is around you right now is coming with you to your destiny. Yes, they may have helped you in the worst time that you could ever have, but that was God put them in your life at that point. Yes, they took care of you. Yes, they brought you up. Yes, they did things for you that nobody else would do. But guess what? They are not coming with you to your destiny. And it's a hard road. It's a tough pill to swallow. But understand that that is what is going on. All right. So I want you to ask yourself, what is on this form? Right? In our camp, our pastor spoke about this. Is that who are you following? Right? First of all, everyone needs to follow Jesus. Right? All of here, so we all following Jesus. Search for his Instagram page. But the question is, who are you following? Are you following toxic people that post about toxic things? And I can't elaborate even more. If you're watching toxic things and if you're listening to toxic people, what do you think you will be? A red flag. Thank you. So on our phones, we have the power to change our algorithms. It's something fancy now, right? So we have the power to change our algorithms. What we search, what we click, what we watch pops up on our feed. So I want you to turn to your neighbor and say, control your scroll. Amazing, amazing. Hope you listen to your neighbor. So, what helps me, and I'm sharing things on a very personal level, is that I give myself timers. I give myself, sometimes the timers are very long. It's like 1.5 hours of just scrolling and watching and doing things, but I give myself a timer. And when that time is done, I immediately take the phone and turn it upside down. I don't care who messaged me, I don't care who's phoning, I don't care who do whatever. And I hit that reset button. Because sometimes you're so deep, and TikTok got this thing where it tells you the stories about people. And these Chinese people are coming on there, they're building these things, and you get so hooked in it. And here's the thing, sleep is very important. Sleep is so important. I'm also very, very guilty of this. But I don't prioritize sleep enough. Like I said, I started, so do not judge me. So, your sleep cannot be sacrificed because you're watching a Chinese man on TikTok, or you're watching these Chinese, or these stories about how this man found his wife cheating and he didn't tell her anything. That's not what needs to come in the way of your sleep. You're going to listen to that story. You save it, you send it to yourself, or whatever. You wake up in the morning, that guy still cheating on his wife, and he's still plotting his death. So, it's still going to be there. So, there's one thing I want to tell you is that prioritize your sleep and prioritize giving you time. Have you time, away from this. You time doesn't mean, okay, I'm relaxing by myself, I'm watching TV, I'm doing something. No. What's in your mind? Every one of us has unprocessed emotions, unprocessed thoughts, unprocessed feelings, and we try and watch a video and be like, oh, let me send it to 5 people because this is so relatable. People don't even want that. Don't even want to see that video. That's something that you are feeling. That's something that you are going through. That's something that's personal to you. And you send in your emotions to someone else. That was, oh my God, sis, thank you, I needed this. Oh my God, brother, thank you, I needed this. They didn't want to see that. They are being nice to you. That is something for you. But before you send it to someone, understand, why did that video trigger you? Why did that video put you in a space of like, hey, you know what? This is so relatable to me. And maybe God uses ordinary people to do extraordinary things. He can take you out of the ordinary and put you into the extraordinary. And let me give you a small insight to how I know Caleb, right? So Caleb and I, Caleb, you're going to get exposed. So Caleb and I went to school together, right? So before I go to Caleb, let me say something to each and every one of you. This is how powerful God is, right? My life ambition, my dream when I was 12, 13, 14 years old, yeah, you're going to laugh, right? But it's fine. Yeah, I was also screaming and laughing when I was 19. Was to become a drug dealer. was to sell drugs. And here's another thing. My biggest promotion in my mind was to drive a tow truck or to drive a taxi. This was who Quentin Lee was at 13, 14. So this is what, and you talk about limitations, you talk about how far away you go. When you're hanging out where Caleb was, when you're hanging out over here and you feel that you are so far away from everything, this is where the people who are lost, broken, and who never heal, you're listening to them. This is where Quentin was. Listening to people trying to sell drugs and trying to become a tow truck driver and a taxi driver. But I'm here to tell you today that God has brought me out of that, thankfully. Got no drugs over here today. But God has brought me out of that, and He took me to a place where I get very emotional just thinking about it, because He took me to a place where I didn't even expect to go. He took me to a place that we only saw in movies, and He made my dream come true. I'm saying this to show off. I'm never ever show off. I'm saying this because imagine the drug dealer Quentin. Imagine the person who wanted to drive a tow truck and a taxi, went to America, worked in America, went to other countries. I don't even know how to pronounce some of the countries and the things that I was eating. But that's what I'm saying. That's who our God is. And I've come so far. You have no idea how far I've come. And to see Kalen up here today, praising and worshiping, and to see who he is as a person. Let me tell you something. If you all met grade 10, Quentin and Kalen, you all would have prayed for them and you all asked the police to come and lock them up. Stupid things. Bunking school. Kalen, I'm sorry. So Kalen and I, to give you a small insight, right? And for those who know Kalen, is that I was in grade 10 with Kalen, right? And for some reason, we didn't want to be in school at all. At all. Now, I bunked many times before, guiltily. And then I spoke to Kalen, and then we was like, you know what? Feeling for the ice cream. The stupidest thing in grade 10, we feeling for the ice cream. So we went to Phoenix Check, and there's this hole in the fence. And the security guard was very tight, but we were crooks, right? And we jumped through this hole with a good other few people, and we went and we ate ice cream. It was heaven, I'm telling you. That adrenaline is running through your body. You don't even, you shake your head, you're like ice cream. You don't even know what's going on. Because you bunk school and you went. So, long story short, one of the guys who we were rolling with, his granny and grandfather came from the hospital. And I was driving past. I think his name was Shikar. So I said, Shikar? He said, yeah, man. They went to the office. And that's how we got caught. So we came back into school like Bristons. We just had ice cream from McDonald's. We bunked school. And then we got caught. So we were teased for the rest of our high school name. We were called Ice Cream Mollusk. And our teachers and our friends never ever let that go. But to think about those boys and who we are today is literally chalk and cheese. It literally shows you how amazing God is, because yes, we were foolish, and yes, we had fun, and yes, we did everything else, but we also took God seriously. We also submitted to God, and we both reached a point. Kellen has his personal story, and I have my personal story. We both reached a point where we gave up. We literally didn't know what to do anymore. There was no hope. There was no possibility. We kept on hitting this wall, and we kept on hitting this Goliath. But that Goliath was there for a reason. That feeling that we were feeling of emptiness, loss, and even abandonedness was there for a reason, because that would have set us free once we conquered it, and it's taking us onto our destiny, it's taking us onto our purpose, and it's taking us to where we are meant to be. So understand that God can choose anybody, but He chose you. God can choose people who you know, people who you look up to, but He chose you. And each and every one of us have a different calling, have a different plan, have a different purpose. But you are chosen, and you are meant to listen to what I'm saying today, because I am meant to listen to what I'm saying today. I'm not just preaching to you, I'm not just speaking to you, I'm speaking to myself. So to give you an example of what God can do, because if our stories are not enough for you, let me remind you of what God did in the Bible. He chose a shepherd boy named David, and He turned him into a king. He took a boy with 5 loaves and 2 fish, and He fed thousands. A man was stuck for 38 years at the pool of Bethesda, and one moment with the Father, and he was set free, and his life changed. That's the God that we serve. Let's give a round of applause for Jesus. In John 5, verse 8, Jesus said, "Get up, pick up your mat, and walk." So it doesn't matter how long you are stuck in that situation. To be honest with you, I was stuck in this loop of finding God, losing God. Feeling like you're going to make it, feeling like you're not going to make it. Feeling like, I'm right here. I promise you, telling everyone, let me tell you something, I'm not going to be the same. I'm a changed man. Every New Year's, I'm a changed man. I'm not the same anymore. Trust me, I'm dieting now. I am looking for the Lord, and I'm going to leave it alone. And 2 weeks down the line, that biryani eats.
6-pack.
2 weeks down the line, all of a sudden you like Cadbury chocolates more than you like. 2 weeks down the line, your mind changes. 2 weeks down the line, you come across people who are ordinary. And I've got nothing against ordinary people because I myself was an ordinary person. But I wasn't really an ordinary person. I had an ordinary mindset. And what happens when you be around them? What happens when you walk with fools? Not to call them a fool, but to use them as an illustration. What happens when you hang around people who are not going very far and who are content with their life? What happens when you be around people who are just so happy where they are because their parents are reached this exact moment and they lived happily ever after, and now they reach this moment and now they live happily ever after? I know there's something inside of each and every one of you here today who knows that this is not it. This is not where it stops for you. This is only the beginning because you know that God has called you for more. You see it in people, you see it in celebrities, you see it on your phone. You see it on your phone that people can reach this level. So do not limit yourself. Maybe you feel like you missed your moment. Maybe you feel like you messed up too much or you've gone too far, you're too far away from the Father. But God says, as I started, when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. See, the thing is, you are still here today. That means that every single attack that came over your life, every single attack from the enemy, every single witchcraft and curse that was put over your life did not work. Otherwise, you won't be seated where you are seated right now. So your survival rate is 100%. You currently have full lives. If you're playing Snow Bros or Tekken or whatever the case may be, you have all your lives. And you are still here today. So look at someone and say, I'm still here, baby.
I'm still here, baby.
There we go. So let's go through a small equation together that will help you understand on who God is to us. Your expectation, what you see on your phone, what you see other people have, what you see everyone who made it in life, versus your current situation, where you are now, this feeling of negativity, this feeling of sadness, this feeling of abandonedness, this feeling of loss, and no one's there, equals your possibility. So your expectation minus your current reality equals your possibility. I want you to know that God meets us where our possibility starts. God meets us where our possibilities. And currently our possibilities are not very great. We feel like there's nothing that we have right now that can take us to the level where we want. There's nothing that's inside of us right now that can take us to where we want to be. But I'm here to remind you that we serve a God that changes everything. He takes nothing and he makes it into something. He calls nobody and he makes him into a somebody. So in Hebrews 11 verse 1, faith is the substance of all things and the evidence of things not seen. So if you want to go beyond the ordinary, you need to imagine. So I want everyone to close their eyes and I want you to have a very personal moment because there's no screen in front of you, there's no phone in front of you. I want you to close your eyes and not what you see on Instagram, not what you see on social media, not what you see anywhere else. I want you to envision who you are. I want you to envision who you want to be. Have a very clear image of this person. Starting Monday morning, I want you to have a very, very clear image of who this person is. Understand that this person who you currently have in your mind, God has called to go beyond the ordinary. I don't want you to wait to feel it. I want you to act like it already is because God has given you it. The question is, why are you not using it? Why do we limit ourselves? That's because our mind is not right. So I want you to look at this person and Monday morning say, I'm coming for you. Get over your hands now. Alright, so it starts with you. So if you're feeling lost, you feel like you've drifted far away from God, God has already written our story. Now, in English, in school, I never wrote in my book, not once, right? There's a confession. I never even have my English books in my bag, to be honest with you. It was in some girl's bag, and they were writing my notes. What's the worst part is that my book got chosen for moderation. The moderator called me and said, how is there 5 different handwritings in your book? because I never ever did it. But here's the thing. That was other people writing what I supposed to do. And oftentimes we let other people do that as well. We let other people's situations, we let other people's mindsets, we let other people's vision of who we are become what we are, become who we are, become where we headed. They don't even know what God is doing for you. You don't even know what God is doing for you. You may think that you know it, you may believe it, but trust me, coming from someone who I thought this was my life and to where I am here today, God changes everything. He will never, ever, ever love you again. God says, I love you. Even though you sinned, even though you did something that is in your mind, you don't deserve it. Let me tell you something, I felt the exact same way. I felt that I don't need God's presence. I felt that I don't need God because I messed up so bad that God doesn't want anything to do with me. That is holding you back. You are claiming and you are taking back what is yours. You are fighting every Goliath that is in your life that has come to kill, to destroy, and to limit you. And you are saying, Goliath, not today. Goliath, not today. Today I am chosen. Today I remember that I am a child of the Most High God. Today I remember that I have been called and I've been appointed and I've been anointed and I've been set apart from everyone else. My situation does not determine who I am. My situation does not determine my worth. Come on, everyone, I want you to pray. 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 I want you to thank God for where you are now. I want you to thank God for where you are headed. If you don't know how to pray, I just want you to say, Jesus, thank you. I just want you to say, God can meet you right where you are right now. This feeling that's inside of you is not confidence. This feeling that's inside of you right now is not the enemy that stops you from what you want to be. We have royalty in this world right now. We have kings, we have queens, and we have people that have been called for a time such as this. This is the generation that takes us to the next level. This is the generation that's going to remind people that God did it in my life. You can see me as an example. You can be and do what God did in my life. God can also do it in your life. In the name of the Holy Spirit. And everyone said, Amen. And everyone said, Amen. Let's give God some praise.